Hello and welcome to another video. Today it's gonna be a little bit theoretical, maybe. So I was asked a lot, or I got asked a lot, what are the mods, the modifications to the car I recommend the most. So I just made a very quick list of things below €1,000 which you could do for a total of roughly €1,000. It's not track day related, so it's not what's best for track days. We could do that later on in the video. Yeah, so first it's just the total best mods for under €1,000, and then later on in the video it's gonna be the track day related stuff. Some are, you'll see. So the first mod I personally would do is, that's for free, just remove the rear view mirror. That's, in my opinion, the best mod you can do. I made a video about which mirror riser is the best in the past. So that's for free. And the next thing is also very, very cheap, is the Brodit phone mount. It's also very, I think, the complete stuff, depending on which one you like or which one you want to have. It's made from two pieces. The first one is specifically to the car, and the other one is specifically for your phone. So depending on what you like, I just have the cheapest ones. So they're like, the both parts together are like $80 or something, and you have your phone always very secure. You have a good place. If you get a short cable to load the car from the USB, it's very neat also, and it's not in the way, and it's also perfectly visible all the time. So I really like that. That's like $80. Then the armrest. I know it's not very sporty, but I would still do it anyway to a stock car if you don't go to the racetrack. Maybe even if you go to the racetrack, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because if you go into the racetrack, you can just push it back or fold it back, and then it's out of the way. I made a video about that too. So I would get the armrest. It's like $300, around that, with shipping and everything. So that's also very, very easy. And installation takes maybe 2 hours, roughly around that. The next is camber bolts, which are also very cheap. They are also like $80, and to install them takes maybe an hour. Or so for all around the front and back. And we mostly use the ones from Powerflex, or you can get the stock ones. They work as well. Or from H&R, I think they have the front ones only, but they're a little bit more expensive, but also a little bit bigger bolts. So maybe that's the way to go. I don't know. So just camber bolts. And after you got camber bolts, you need to do an alignment. That's also something I highly recommend. Get an alignment done with this car, because it's so much better to drive. Everyone that was here for an alignment says the car drives much better now. So that's one of the things I would really recommend. And the last thing, that's also track day related, by the way, the camber bolts and the alignment. That you can, I recommend it for the street, even, or the same as if you go to the track. It's just maybe a little bit different alignment, but other than that, I would do it also if you just drive on the road. It just changes the car, believe me. What would I recommend? Roughly -3 degrees camber at the front and maybe 2 degrees camber at the back. And I personally would, on the road, toe out all around just a little bit. If you're going to the track and it's a high-speed track, maybe go a little bit toe in at the back, so you get a little bit more stable rear end. That's basically it, and maybe half a degree camber more. Then, stainless steel brake lines. In my opinion, they are also roughly, depends on which one you buy, they are also roughly $300, around that, 200 to 300. Just get the ones with the stainless steel end links or end thingies, because just the standard steel, they're gonna rust very soon, so you don't want to have that. You just want to just spend these 50 extra bucks to have everything made from stainless steel. It just is easier in the future. So that's basically all the mods I would recommend for below 1,000. If you do all of them, you're maybe gonna get roughly to 1,000, depending on what you can do yourself and what you need a shop to do. And if you need to make the alignment, if you can do it yourself, or if you have to pay a shop, then it's gonna be a little bit, maybe over 1,000. But the parts are all below, so that's roughly 1,000. Now, track day related stuff. Obviously not the armrest, that's not track day related, but rear view mirror, that's for free anyway, so good to go. Then it's just the camber bolts, stainless steel brake lines. What I would recommend as well are the titanium shims, and while you change the brake lines, just exchange also the fluid. We always use endless or standard ones, but nothing else. Yeah. And then I would recommend brake pads as well, because if you get brake pads, you're gonna brake much longer. The stock ones are very good. They are just very dusty and they don't live that long, especially if it's hot. If it's very hot outside in the summer, which it can be in the summer, even in Europe, even in Switzerland, it's sometimes very hot during the summer, then you might want to have some different pads. I always recommend endless, the CCRG. They are very good for standard driving on the road, and they also work on track very well. So that's just the ones I recommend, but there are hundreds out there, so just pick whatever you like. For track day related stuff, if you go frequently to a track day, or just more than once, get an oil cooler. You will need one, and you will have much longer fun on track with an oil cooler. Then maybe the extended brake ducts from HN Racing, maybe this one as well. Yeah, just in my opinion, if you're going to the track, the first thing you want to improve is cooling. Now, some may scream, track time, that's the way to go. Yeah, you're not wrong. Because a lot of people might say, before you modify anything on the car, just get some seat time, learn how to drive the car, and then you can improve the car, because nothing beats seat time. And I say you're right. But you can only have seat time when the car's performing. If the oil gets too hot, there's no seat time. So we were at the Hockenheimring while it was 32 degrees, and after three, not 20, 3 fast laps, not all in laps, just fast laps, the oil temperature got 127, 128 degrees, and I just said, yeah, let's stop it right there, and I didn't push any further. So that was without an oil cooler. And so that limited my seat time that day dramatically. Good thing was it was just more like a promo event, so it wasn't really a track day, so that didn't matter that much. But still, it just showed me you need an oil cooler. And if you have an oil cooler, the oil is gonna be cool for longer, so you have more time in the seat. equals seat time. And if you have brake pads, which you can use the whole day, and if they're not gone at 12 o'clock before lunch, you have more seat time. So while you're right, seat time is the best way to improve your lap times, mostly. If you have maybe a coach, or if you analyze your driving behavior and change things according to that, you might want to consider changing some things on the car first before you're going to the track day, because you get just more out of said track day. And that's why I recommend oil cooler and all the cooling you can have for the car. You'll never have enough cooling, obviously. If you're gonna push for 20-30 minutes on and on, mostly the brakes will overheat. Sometime the oil will overheat, maybe the rear differential is gonna overheat. Your tire's gonna overheat if you're using stock wheels and stock size tires. So yeah, if you're going regularly to the track day, get a second set of wheels, go with something 9-inch wide, 40 offset and 255s. You're good to go. That works with stock suspension and with most aftermarket suspensions as well. So then you're pretty good to go. And obviously brake pads and wheels, and that's not below €1,000. But if you want to just go to the track day once, I highly recommend take or buy at least a second set of brake pads, because if you're there and you're out of brake pads, that's very, very bad, and it's gonna be very expensive because you're gonna damage the discs, and these are horribly expensive. So yeah, and what I also recommend all the time is just get a second set of wheels, because a second set of wheels may save you a tow truck, because if you just damage one wheel, one tire with, I don't know, some stuff lying around in the pit lane, and you damage a tire, you need a tow truck. If you have a second set of wheels, which you can use on the track, and then change it afterwards back to the stock ones where you drive to the track and back home, it's just safer and easier. So, that video got way out of hand. I thought that's gonna be a short one. Got a little bit longer. Sorry for that. So, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or write me an email. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a good week. Goodbye.